The Amish have quietly mastered the art of living long, healthy lives. Their seniors don't rely on modern medicine or fancy routines, just simple, powerful habits practiced every single day. In these 30 daily rituals lies the secret to lasting strength, calm energy, and a life that often reaches 100 years and beyond. This is elderly wisdom at its purest form. Waking beside the fire stove. The Amish start their mornings in a way most of us have forgotten. Before breakfast, before coffee, before the sun fully rises, they're lighting their wood stoves. It's not just about warmth. The gentle heat from burning wood does something modern electric heaters can't replicate. As the flames catch and the stove begins radiating warmth, blood vessels expand naturally. This slow warming process helps stiff muscles relax without shock to the system. Compare that to cranking up a thermostat and blasting hot air everywhere. The Amish method keeps indoor temperatures stable throughout the day without sudden spikes or drops. Here's what makes it brilliant. This isn't passive sitting around. Getting that fire going means bending, lifting wood, adjusting dampers, and staying active. Your morning workout routine involves pressing snooze 5 times. Theirs involves actual pressing, of kindling into a stove. These small movements wake the body gradually, signaling to every joint and muscle that it's time to function. By the time breakfast arrives, their circulation is already humming along nicely. The physical act of fire tending becomes a ritual that prepares both body and mind for the day ahead. No alarm clocks needed when you've got a fire to tend. Cleaning the house before breakfast. While most people scroll through phones before their first meal, Amish seniors are sweeping floors and wiping down surfaces. Daily cleaning in these communities happens when the house is still quiet and cool. Dust doesn't get a chance to settle in for the long haul because it's removed constantly. This isn't about obsessive tidiness. Regular sweeping and wiping serves as gentle morning exercise that keeps bodies flexible. Reaching to dust a high shelf stretches shoulders. Bending to sweep under furniture works the lower back. Wiping down counters engages arms and core muscles. The Amish approach cleaning as movement therapy disguised as housework. Every surface cleaned represents muscles used, joints flexed, and calories burned before breakfast even happens. There's a psychological benefit too. Walking into a fresh, orderly space promotes mental calmness that carries through the entire day. And here's something scientists have discovered. Mild exposure to common dust actually helps strengthen the immune system over time. Amish children have remarkably low rates of allergies and asthma, partly because their environment isn't sterilized to death. Their seniors benefit from the same principle, maintaining robust immune responses well into old age. The morning cleaning routine sets a productive tone while doubling as preventive health care. Manual water pumping. Turning on a faucet takes zero effort, which is exactly the problem. The Amish still pump water by hand in many households, using manual pumps connected to wells. Modern gyms charge you $50 a month to pull cables. The Amish get the same workout for free, and their reward is actual water instead of sore muscles and regret. Every downward press of that pump handle works shoulders, biceps, triceps, and back muscles simultaneously. Do this several times daily for drinking water, cooking, cleaning, and washing, and you've completed a legitimate strength training routine. Fresh groundwater pulled from deep wells often contains beneficial minerals like calcium, magnesium, and potassium that municipal water treatment removes. These minerals support bone density, heart function, and cellular health. Beyond the physical benefits, manual pumping creates mindfulness around water consumption. When you physically labor for every gallon, you don't waste it carelessly. This conservation mindset extends to other resources too. The act of pumping becomes meditative, rhythmic, almost ceremonial. There's direct connection between effort and reward. Push the handle, receive life-giving water. It's simple cause and effect that builds appreciation for basic necessities most people take completely for granted. Preparing bread by hand. Bread machines and store-bought loaves have eliminated an activity that kept hands strong for centuries. Amish seniors knead dough daily, working flour, water, salt, and yeast into smooth, elastic dough. The repetitive pushing, folding, and pressing motion does wonders for joint mobility in fingers, wrists, and forearms. This matters enormously as people age because hand strength directly correlates with overall health and independence. Lose grip strength, and suddenly opening jars, carrying groceries, or steadying yourself becomes difficult. Kneading dough maintains that strength naturally. Homemade bread also avoids the parade of preservatives, conditioners, and additives that make commercial bread shelf-stable for weeks. Fresh bread goes stale in days, which is exactly how bread should behave. The fermentation process in naturally leavened dough creates beneficial bacteria that aid digestion and support gut health. Amish bread often uses sourdough starters passed down through generations, living cultures that add complexity and nutrition to every loaf. The entire process, from mixing to kneading to waiting for rises, teaches patience. There's no rushing yeast. It works on its own schedule, forcing bakers to slow down and work with natural timing rather than against it. This patience transfers to other life areas. Morning scripture, reading. Reading aloud exercises the brain differently than silent reading. Amish elders typically read scripture passages each morning, speaking the words clearly in quiet, natural light. The only thing getting lit in Amish homes at dawn is a kerosene lamp and some scripture. No LED screens allowed. This practice activates multiple brain regions simultaneously: visual processing for seeing words, language centers for understanding meaning, and motor control for speaking. Memory pathways strengthen as familiar passages are revisited and new ones absorbed. The combination creates powerful cognitive exercise that costs nothing and requires no special equipment. Many elders read near windows, taking advantage of morning sunlight. Natural light exposure early in the day helps set circadian rhythms for better sleep later. The content itself provides emotional stability and positive framing before daily work begins. Starting the day with reflection and contemplation rather than news headlines or social media creates entirely different mental states. Stress hormones stay lower. Perspective stays broader. The consistent routine builds discipline that extends beyond morning reading into all daily activities. Regular reading habits have been linked to slower cognitive decline in aging populations. The Amish practice this preventive brain care daily without thinking of it as health intervention. It's simply how mornings work. The only product we'll ever promote on our channel is a book by Claude Davis, a veteran prepper, about 126 superfoods and preservation methods from crisis times like the Great Depression and wartime that are impossible to find elsewhere. We decided to promote his book because we are the last generation able to share these techniques and superfoods to our children or grandchildren. It would be a shame to see this information about highly nutritious foods and preservation methods to survive crises disappear. You can also find a book about herbal remedies from Nicole Apelian on their store. If you're watching this on TV, you can look up our channel, Frugal Solutions, on your phone or tablet and find the books by clicking the link in our channel description or any other video description. Chopping wood. Few activities work the entire body like swinging an axe does. The Amish chop wood regularly for heating and cooking fuel. Each swing requires coordination between legs, core, back, shoulders, and arms. The legs provide stable base. The core rotates and transfers power. The shoulders and arms guide the axe precisely to split wood cleanly. This full-body coordination improves balance and spatial awareness, both critical for preventing falls in older age. The cardiovascular benefits are substantial too. Chopping wood elevates heart rate into moderate exercise zones, improving heart health without needing a gym membership or treadmill. Posture naturally improves because poor form when swinging an axe leads to missed strikes or inefficient splits. The body self-corrects to find the most effective technique. Outdoor activity provides bonus benefits. Sunlight exposure boosts vitamin D production, essential for bone health and immune function. Fresh air fills lungs with oxygen, while moderate exertion strengthens respiratory capacity. The endurance built through regular wood chopping translates to better stamina for all activities. There's also satisfaction in the immediate visible results. That growing pile of split wood represents accomplished work, fuel secured, and preparation completed. Concrete achievement builds confidence and purpose in ways abstract activities never quite match. Wood chopping isn't exercise for its own sake, but necessary work that happens to keep bodies remarkably fit. Brushing animals. Caring for livestock involves daily grooming that serves both animals and humans. Amish seniors brush horses, cows, and other animals with steady, rhythmic strokes. Animals are basically nature's stress balls, except they're warm, they move, and occasionally they judge your life choices with their eyes. The reaching, sweeping motions maintain shoulder mobility and upper body flexibility. Unlike lifting weights, which can strain aging joints, brushing animals provides gentle resistance that strengthens without damage. The repetitive action creates a meditative state that lowers stress hormones like cortisol. Running a brush through an animal's coat while feeling the warmth of their body and hearing their contented breathing naturally calms the human nervous system. Direct contact with animals increases oxytocin production, the hormone associated with bonding and relaxation. This chemical response reduces blood pressure and anxiety while promoting feelings of well-being. Beyond biochemistry, animal care reinforces daily responsibility and routine. The animals depend on consistent care regardless of how the caregiver feels. This external structure prevents the drift into purposelessness that threatens many elderly people. Caring for another living thing maintains empathy and connection to life beyond oneself. The animals don't care about past accomplishments or current limitations. They simply appreciate the care received, offering unconditional acceptance that becomes increasingly rare in human interactions. Maintaining tools and equipment. Sharpening blades, oiling hinges, and cleaning equipment might seem like minor tasks, but they develop crucial skills. Amish communities maintain tools meticulously because replacing them isn't easy or cheap. A properly sharpened saw cuts smoothly with less effort. A well-oiled hinge swings freely without strain. These maintenance tasks require steady hands and focused attention to detail. The precise movements involved in sharpening a knife blade or adjusting a tool's alignment improve fine motor control. For aging hands dealing with reduced dexterity, this regular practice maintains coordination that might otherwise decline. Clean, functional tools also prevent accidents. A dull blade requires excessive force that can slip and cause injury. A rusty hinge that sticks might lead to wrenched shoulders or dropped equipment. Proper maintenance eliminates these hazards while extending tool lifespan dramatically. There's deeper value here too. Tool care preserves traditional craftsmanship and skills that industrial society has largely abandoned. Knowledge of how tools work, why they fail, and how to repair them represents practical wisdom worth maintaining. The focus required for careful maintenance clears the mind of distractions, creating a form of active meditation. Time passes differently when absorbed in precise hands-on work. Problems that seemed overwhelming before tool maintenance often feel more manageable after. Collecting eggs or produce. Gathering eggs from hen houses or picking vegetables from gardens provides multiple benefits wrapped in simple tasks. The physical act involves bending to reach low nests or plants, then straightening while holding modest weight. Chickens are basically nature's subscription service. Pay with feed and shelter, receive fresh eggs. No annoying email reminders either. These movements strengthen leg muscles and back support without requiring gym equipment or formal exercise programs. The bending and lifting happen naturally, multiple times throughout the day, accumulating significant physical activity. Walking between garden rows or around animal pens adds cardiovascular movement. These aren't long hikes, but short bursts of outdoor activity that keep the body engaged. Handling fresh food creates direct connection with nutrition sources. Holding a warm egg just laid or picking a tomato still warm from the sun builds appreciation for food that supermarket shopping never provides. This connection influences eating habits positively. People who grow or gather their own food waste less and eat more consciously. The tasks help preserve agility and joint function because they require varied movements rather than repetitive motions. Reaching high branches, crouching for low vegetables, and walking uneven ground challenges balance and flexibility. Regular practice maintains these abilities instead of losing them through disuse. The predictable routine of collection tasks provides structure to days while ensuring constant, gentle physical engagement with the world. Sewing and mending clothing. Threading needles and stitching fabric demands hand-eye coordination that keeps aging minds sharp. The Amish make and mend their own clothing rather than replacing items when damaged. This practice requires sustained visual focus on tiny needles and stitches while coordinating precise finger movements. The combination exercises multiple brain regions simultaneously, building and maintaining neural pathways. Each stitch requires planning where the needle should enter and exit, how tight the thread should pull, and whether the work aligns with the pattern. This constant problem-solving sharpens attention and spatial reasoning. Unlike passive entertainment, sewing demands active engagement. The mind can't wander too far, or mistakes happen immediately. This focused attention builds concentration skills that transfer to other activities. Sewing eliminates waste by extending clothing life significantly. A torn seam gets repaired rather than causing the entire garment's disposal. This aligns with sustainable living values while saving money and resources. There's creativity involved too, even in simple repairs. Matching thread colors, choosing stitch patterns, and deciding reinforcement placements all require aesthetic and practical judgments. The finished work provides tangible accomplishment. That repaired shirt or mended jacket represents skill applied successfully, creating satisfaction that builds confidence. Regular sewing keeps hands nimble and minds engaged through practical, creative work. Working with natural light. Electric lighting disconnected humans from natural day-night cycles. Amish homes rely primarily on sunlight and use oil lamps after dark. This simple difference profoundly affects health. Natural light exposure during daytime regulates circadian rhythms, the internal biological clocks controlling sleep-wake cycles, hormone production, and metabolic functions. Spending days in natural light helps the body distinguish between active daytime hours and restful nighttime. This synchronization improves sleep quality dramatically compared to living under constant artificial lighting. Natural light also reduces eye strain significantly. Sunlight provides full-spectrum illumination that changes throughout the day, from cool morning light to warm afternoon glow. Eyes evolved for this variation, not the static frequency of LED bulbs or fluorescent tubes. Reading and working by natural light feels easier because it is easier on visual systems. Following the sun's schedule creates natural productivity rhythms. Work happens when light is strong. Rest comes when darkness falls. This alignment prevents the artificial extension of productive hours that leaves many people exhausted despite sufficient sleep time. The body knows when to be alert and when to rest because environmental cues remain consistent. Mood improvements follow naturally. Seasonal affective disorder is less common in populations with regular natural light exposure. Even winter months provide valuable daylight that regulates mood-related neurotransmitters. Working with natural light isn't romantic nostalgia, but practical health maintenance. Washing clothes manually. Washboards and hand-crank washing machines remain standard in many Amish homes. Your washing machine has more buttons and settings than a spaceship. Theirs has a handle. Guess which one gets more exercise? Manual washing provides serious upper body workout. Scrubbing clothes against a washboard works arms, shoulders, and back muscles through repetitive pushing and pulling motions. Hand-cranking washing machines engages similar muscle groups with added resistance. These aren't brief activities either. Washing clothes for a household takes sustained effort over significant time, building muscular endurance naturally. The activity qualifies as low-impact exercise because there's no joint-jarring impact like running or jumping. The resistance comes from water and fabric rather than weights, making it gentler on aging bodies while still building strength. Manual washing also drastically reduces energy consumption. No electricity means no carbon footprint from laundry. The practice promotes self-reliance because dependency on functioning appliances and reliable electricity disappears. Clothes dried outdoors on lines absorb fresh air and sunlight. Sunlight naturally bleaches and disinfects fabrics while providing a clean scent no dryer sheet can replicate. The physical act of hanging clothes, stretching to reach lines, and bending to pick up wet laundry adds more beneficial movement to the process. Manual washing turns a necessary chore into comprehensive physical activity that maintains strength and endurance. Eating freshly ground grains. Industrial flour mills remove grain components that provide crucial nutrients. The Amish grind grains fresh at home using manual or simple motorized mills. This preservation of the entire grain kernel means fiber, vitamins, minerals, and healthy oils remain intact. Whole grains contain bran, providing fiber that lowers cholesterol and regulates digestion. They include the germ, rich in vitamin E, B vitamins, and healthy fats. Commercial white flour strips both components away, leaving mostly starch. The difference in nutritional value is enormous. Fresh grinding prevents nutrient degradation that occurs during long storage. Once grain is milled, the oils in the germ begin oxidizing and vitamins start breaking down. Flour sitting in warehouses and stores for weeks or months loses significant nutritional value even before consumption. Freshly milled flour retains maximum nutrients because it's used quickly. Whole grains also provide sustained energy rather than blood sugar spikes. The fiber and complex carbohydrates digest slowly, releasing glucose gradually into the bloodstream. This prevents the energy crashes that follow refined carbohydrate consumption. For Amish seniors maintaining active lifestyles, this steady energy supply supports consistent work capacity throughout the day. The improved heart health from whole grain consumption is well documented. Regular intake lowers cardiovascular disease risk significantly. Fresh grinding makes whole grains more palatable and digestible than commercially processed whole grain products, encouraging consistent consumption. Collecting rainwater. Many Amish properties include rainwater collection systems, typically large barrels or tanks catching roof runoff. Nature provides free delivery on millions of gallons daily. The Amish just set out buckets while everyone else pays water bills. This practice builds environmental awareness and self-sufficiency. Depending less on municipal water systems creates resilience against service disruptions and reduces utility costs substantially. The collected rainwater serves multiple purposes, including garden irrigation, washing, and sometimes drinking after proper treatment. Using rainwater for gardens conserves treated municipal water for necessary household uses. Plants often thrive on rainwater because it lacks the chlorine and other chemicals added to tap water. The minerals naturally present in rainwater can benefit soil and plant health. Collection systems require maintenance, including cleaning gutters, checking barrels, and ensuring proper overflow drainage. These activities keep seniors physically active and engaged with their properties. The act of managing a rainwater system creates direct connection with weather patterns and seasonal changes. You become attuned to when rain falls, how much accumulates, and how long supplies last. This awareness deepens appreciation for natural resources and weather's role in daily life. The conservation mindset developed through rainwater collection extends to other resources too. People who actively harvest rainwater tend to be more conscious about water use generally, avoiding waste and being mindful of consumption. This resourcefulness builds practical skills and sustainable habits. Making herbal salves and oils. Pharmaceutical companies want people dependent on expensive products for every minor ailment. The Amish maintain traditional knowledge of herbal remedies, creating salves and oils from plants they grow themselves. Comfrey for bruises and sprains, calendula for skin irritation, lavender for burns and relaxation, plantain for insect bites. These aren't folk superstitions, but plant medicines with genuine therapeutic properties increasingly validated by scientific research. Creating remedies keeps botanical knowledge alive across generations. Elders teach younger family members which plants help which conditions, when to harvest them, and how to prepare effective preparations. This knowledge transmission maintains cultural heritage while providing practical healthcare options. The ingredients come from organic gardens free from pesticides and synthetic fertilizers. Quality control is direct and personal because the makers know exactly what goes into their remedies. Commercial products often contain synthetic fragrances, preservatives, and fillers that can irritate sensitive skin. Homemade preparations use pure ingredients, making them gentler and often more effective. The regular use of natural topical treatments supports skin health without the side effects some pharmaceutical products cause. Dry skin, minor wounds, muscle aches, and joint pain respond well to properly prepared herbal remedies. The process of making these preparations provides purpose and engages both mind and hands in meaningful work that benefits the entire community. Seasonal food preservation. Refrigeration made humanity lazy about food storage. The Amish preserve summer and fall harvests through canning, fermenting, and drying. These methods work without electricity and maintain food safely for months. Canning vegetables, fruits, and meats creates shelf-stable foods that retain most nutritional value. Water bath and pressure canning might seem old-fashioned, but they work perfectly well when done correctly. The process requires attention to detail, proper timing, and careful technique, keeping minds engaged and hands busy. Fermentation creates more than preservation. Sauerkraut, pickles, and fermented vegetables develop beneficial bacteria that support digestive health. These probiotics improve gut flora, boost immune function, and enhance nutrient absorption. Modern research increasingly validates what traditional cultures always knew. Fermented foods are extraordinarily healthy. Preserved foods provide balanced nutrition during winter months when fresh produce isn't available. The variety maintained through preservation prevents diet monotony and ensures adequate vitamin and mineral intake year-round. This preservation work also reduces dependence on external food systems. The security of knowing winter food supplies are handled creates peace of mind. Storms, supply chain disruptions, or economic problems don't threaten food availability when the pantry contains hundreds of jars of preserved food. The work builds self-reliance and demonstrates practical competence that modern convenience has eliminated for most people. Writing letters by hand. Typing and texting killed cursive writing, but the Amish still write letters by hand. This practice maintains fine motor control in fingers and hands. Forming letters requires coordinated movements between thumb, fingers, and wrist that keep joints flexible and muscles engaged. Phone autocorrect has convinced a generation they can spell. Handwriting proves otherwise, but at least it's honest about your mistakes. Writing by hand stimulates brain regions that typing doesn't activate. Research shows handwriting improves memory retention and cognitive processing compared to keyboard use. The slower pace forces better thought organization and clearer expression. You can't write as fast as you think, so thoughts become more refined before reaching paper. Personal letters strengthen emotional connections with distant family members in ways texts and emails can't replicate. Physical letters require intention and effort. They arrive tangibly, can be saved and reread, and carry personal character through handwriting. The slower pace of written correspondence reduces stress compared to the immediate demands of digital communication. Letters don't require instant responses. The rhythm allows thoughtful composition and considerate reading. Regular handwriting practice preserves literacy skills and attention to language that deteriorate without use. Grammar, spelling, and sentence structure receive more attention when writing slowly than when typing quickly. This linguistic precision keeps language centers of the brain active and healthy. Maintaining community gardens. Individual gardens are beneficial, but shared community gardens multiply the advantages. Amish communities often maintain common garden spaces where members work together. Gardens are proof that if you plant problems in dirt and ignore them for a few months, sometimes you get tomatoes instead of therapy bills. The teamwork involved encourages social interaction that combats loneliness. Working alongside others creates natural conversation opportunities and shared purpose that isolated individual work lacks. Physical gardening involves varied movements, including digging, planting, weeding, and harvesting. These activities promote endurance while building strength through natural resistance from soil and tools. The variety of movements prevents repetitive strain while challenging different muscle groups. Mental clarity often improves during garden work. The combination of physical activity, fresh air, and focused attention creates meditative states that clear mental clutter. Problems that seemed complex before gardening often resolve themselves or become less overwhelming afterward. Community gardens also ensure access to fresh, pesticide-free vegetables throughout the growing season. The variety grown in shared spaces typically exceeds what individual gardens produce because labor and space are pooled. Different families contribute different crops, creating diverse harvests that benefit everyone. The social aspect reduces emotional decline that threatens isolated elderly people. Regular interaction maintains social skills, provides emotional support, and creates belonging that protects against depression and anxiety. Working together on something productive builds relationships. Sharing midday meals. Together, eating alone at desks or in cars eliminated something humans evolved doing: communal meals. The Amish gather for midday dinner, the largest meal of their day. eaten together as families or work groups. This social context dramatically changes how eating happens. Shared meals naturally slow eating pace. Conversation between bites creates pauses that allow satiety signals to register before overeating occurs. The digestive system functions better when eating happens slowly and calmly rather than quickly and stressfully. Rushed eating leads to poor digestion, discomfort, and tendency toward overconsumption. Slower, mindful eating in social settings prevents these problems naturally. Regular social contact during meals boosts emotional stability and happiness. Daily face-to-face interaction provides emotional support, shared laughter, and sense of community that protects mental health. These consistent touchpoints allow problems to be discussed before they become crises and celebrations to be shared immediately rather than reported later. Shared meals reinforce family unity and collective responsibility. Everyone participates in meal preparation, serving, and cleanup. These shared tasks build cooperation and interdependence that strengthen family bonds. The consistent routine creates reliable structure that both children and elderly family members benefit from enormously. Meals become anchors in the day, predictable gatherings that provide both nourishment and connection. The food itself tends to be healthier too, because home cooking with real ingredients beats restaurant or processed food nutritionally. Quilting in groups. Quilting bees bring Amish women together for intricate handwork that produces beautiful functional items. The detailed stitching develops patience because quilts require hundreds of hours to complete. Quilts are basically elaborate fabric puzzles that keep your hands busy and your mind quiet. Plus, at the end, you get a blanket instead of missing pieces under the couch. Each stitch demands focus on placement, tension, and pattern continuation. This concentrated attention strengthens cognitive functions, including spatial reasoning and pattern recognition. The repetitive hand movements provide remarkable benefits for arthritis and joint stiffness. Regular small motions keep finger joints flexible and maintain range of motion that might otherwise deteriorate. Unlike aggressive exercise that can inflame arthritic joints, gentle repetitive quilting movements lubricate joints and maintain function without damage. Group quilting sessions foster cooperation and sustained conversation. Working together on shared projects while talking creates strong social bonds. The conversation flows naturally because hands stay busy, reducing social awkwardness that sometimes occurs in pure conversation settings. Topics range from practical advice to family news to philosophical discussions. Mental engagement required for quilting helps protect against cognitive decline. Following patterns, choosing color combinations, and executing complex designs all exercise brain regions responsible for planning, creativity, and problem solving. The finished quilts become family heirlooms representing accumulated hours of skill and care. Creating something lasting and beautiful provides deep satisfaction that temporary accomplishments can't match. Reading aloud in the evening. The Amish gather in the evening and read aloud to each other. This simple habit keeps their vocal cords strong and their pronunciation clear well into their senior years. Reading aloud exercises your short-term memory in ways that silent reading can't match. You have to remember the sentence structure and flow of ideas while simultaneously processing what comes next. The comprehension skills get sharper because you're engaging multiple senses at once. You know you're getting old when getting lucky means finding your reading glasses on the first try. What makes this practice especially valuable is the social aspect. When families read together, everyone's listening skills improve. The older ones maintain their cognitive abilities through consistent practice. The calm, steady rhythm of evening reading does something important for sleep preparation too. Your brain starts winding down naturally without harsh blue light from screens. The mind stays sharp, the voice stays strong, and the family stays connected. Using oil lamps at night. When the sun sets in Amish communities, they light oil lamps that cast a warm, gentle glow. That dim, amber light signals your brain to start producing melatonin, the hormone that makes you sleepy. Modern LED bulbs trick your brain into thinking it's still daytime, suppressing melatonin production. The Amish avoid this problem entirely. The slower transition into darkness matters tremendously. When you gradually move from daylight to lamplight to darkness, your entire system gets time to adjust. Your heart rate naturally slows and your breathing deepens. Oil lamps also reduce eye strain significantly. Amish seniors who've spent their lives reading by lamplight often have better vision in later years than people under harsh fluorescent lighting for decades. The warm, low light creates an environment where deep, quality rest becomes natural. Maintaining regular prayer times. Fixed prayer hours create something modern life often lacks completely. Amish seniors have set times, and these anchors hold their daily schedule together in ways that benefit both mind and body. Regular reflection does something measurable to anxiety levels. When you pause multiple times daily to focus inward and express gratitude, you're interrupting the stress response before it builds up. People who maintain consistent reflection practices have lower cortisol levels and better blood pressure. Getting down on your knees to pray gets harder with age, but at least you're already in position to look for your keys under the couch. The discipline aspect matters too. When you commit to praying at sunrise, midday, and sunset every day, you're training your mind to follow through on commitments. Perhaps the most powerful benefit is how prayer maintains hope and emotional health. When Amish elders face difficulties like health problems or loss, they have a framework for processing challenges. The consistency of prayer times improves overall discipline as your brain recognizes patterns and operates more efficiently when life has structure. Keeping a small livestock yard. Caring for chickens, goats, or a few dairy cows ensures Amish seniors stay constantly active without thinking about exercise routines. The animals need feeding every morning and evening, regardless of weather or mood. Daily feeding and cleaning promote cardiovascular health in ways that feel nothing like going to a gym. You're carrying buckets, spreading hay, and walking between house and barn multiple times. The close contact with animals and nature lowers blood pressure in ways researchers are still working to understand. Something about being near livestock creates a calming effect that reduces stress hormones. A small livestock yard also ensures steady supply of fresh eggs and dairy. Eggs collected in the morning might be on your breakfast plate an hour later. Amish seniors who've tended livestock for decades often have better balance and coordination than people 20 years younger. Using natural cleaning solutions, vinegar, lemon juice, and lye-based soaps handle every cleaning job in Amish homes. When you clean with harsh chemical cleaners, you're releasing volatile organic compounds into indoor air that you breathe for hours afterward. Natural cleaners sidestep this entirely. Vinegar is acetic acid, strong enough to kill bacteria, but gentle enough you could drink it without serious harm. My grandmother always said vinegar could clean anything. Turns out she was right, though it doesn't make your house smell like a spa, more like a pickle factory. Lye soap made from wood ash and animal fat has cleaned effectively for thousands of years. The environmental benefit extends beyond individual homes. When you wash floors with vinegar and water, that runoff isn't polluting groundwater. Indoor air quality matters tremendously, especially for seniors spending significant time at home. Commercial products can trigger asthma and irritate sensitive respiratory systems. Amish homes cleaned with natural solutions smell fresh without harsh chemical edge, and their lungs and skin benefit from that choice every single day. Walking to community gatherings. Most Amish seniors don't drive, so walking becomes the default method of getting anywhere. Church services, quilting circles, and neighbor visits all require putting one foot in front of the other. This regular walking keeps joints mobile and enhances endurance without feeling like a chore. The cardiovascular benefits are well documented, reducing heart disease risk and maintaining healthy blood pressure. What makes walking especially valuable for seniors is how gentle it is on joints compared to high-impact activities. The outdoor exposure provides mental clarity and relaxation that treadmill walking cannot match. When you walk through actual landscapes, watching seasons change and feeling weather on your skin, your brain engages completely. Blood circulation improves not just during the walk, but for hours afterward. Amish seniors who walk regularly often have better color in their faces and more energy throughout the day than sedentary people. Keeping consistent work hours. Amish life follows a rhythm that rarely changes. Work begins shortly after sunrise and ends around sunset, with meals at the same times daily. This steady schedule reduces fatigue and mental clutter dramatically. Your body runs on internal clocks, controlling everything from hormone release to digestion. When you wake at 6 every morning, your body prepares for wakefulness naturally. They say the early bird gets the worm, but I say the early Amish gets the chores done before it's too hot to think straight. The same principle applies to bedtime. When Amish seniors retire at the same hour nightly, their bodies begin shut down automatically and sleep comes easily. Consistent timing also helps balance metabolism. Your body processes food most efficiently when meals arrive at regular intervals, keeping blood sugar stable throughout the day. This predictability lowers stress hormones throughout the day. The Amish avoid chronic stress through simple consistency, and that certainty translates into better physical health and mental peace. Avoiding processed foods entirely. Every meal in Amish homes starts from whole ingredients: flour ground from grain they grew, vegetables from their garden, meat from animals they raised. This elimination of processed foods prevents inflammation and chronic diseases. Processed foods contain preservatives designed to extend shelf life for months. Your body didn't evolve to handle these synthetic chemicals. When consumed regularly, your immune system treats them as invaders, triggering inflammation that damages blood vessels and accelerates aging. The absence of added sugars matters tremendously. Most processed foods contain sweeteners that spike blood glucose and promote insulin resistance. When your diet consists entirely of foods humans ate for thousands of years, blood sugar stays naturally stable. Simple diets built around whole ingredients promote better digestion. Your gut microbiome thrives on fiber from vegetables and nutrients from minimally processed foods. Amish seniors experience fewer digestive complaints than people eating standard Western diets because they're fueled with real food. Midday rest without napping. Amish seniors take short-seated breaks in quiet spaces after the midday meal instead of pushing through fatigue or taking full naps. This isn't sleeping, but deliberate stillness while remaining conscious. These brief rest periods lower heart rate significantly as blood pressure drops and breathing naturally slows. All this recovery happens in just 10 to 20 minutes of quiet sitting. Some folks need coffee for their afternoon slump. The Amish just need a chair and the wisdom to sit in it. The restoration of alertness happens because you haven't dropped into deep sleep. You've given your body rest without triggering the full sleep cycle, so your mind stays clear through afternoon hours. Gentle stillness allows muscles to recover between tasks as muscle fibers repair microscopic damage from morning work. This mindful rest helps sustain steady energy throughout the entire day. You avoid the boom and bust cycle where you push hard until exhaustion forces complete stoppage. Amish seniors in their 80s and 90s often maintain energy levels that put much younger people to shame. Respecting natural daylight cycles. The Amish end their active day soon after sunset with no staying up for late-night television or scrolling through phones in bed. This alignment with daylight cycles represents one of their most powerful longevity practices. Early bedtime aligns perfectly with circadian rhythm for optimal rest. Your body produces the most growth hormone during the first few hours of sleep. When you go to bed at 9 or 10 evening, you're maximizing this repair window. Nothing says living on the edge like the Amish staying up past 9 o'clock. Wild times in Pennsylvania. Consistent wake-sleep cycles support hormone balance throughout your entire endocrine system. When you maintain regular sleep timing, these hormones work together harmoniously. Natural light exposure during the day, followed by complete darkness at night, creates ideal environment for melatonin production. Bright sunlight tells your brain to suppress melatonin while total darkness triggers deep sleep. Amish seniors have clearer thinking, better moods, healthier immune function, and slower cognitive decline. They're simply going to bed when it gets dark and waking when light returns. Rise with the sun, not the alarm. Ever notice how grandparents seem to wake up at dawn without help? The Amish community has practiced this habit for generations, and science is finally catching up. Between 4:30 and 5 a.m., Amish seniors rise naturally without alarm clocks. Their first action, opening curtains to flood their rooms with morning sunlight. This isn't just about being early birds. When natural morning light hits your eyes, it resets your body's internal clock. Scientists have discovered that morning sunlight exposure boosts nighttime melatonin production by 37%. Melatonin is that wonderful hormone helping you fall asleep at night. By waking with the sun, you're setting yourself up for better sleep later. Studies comparing alarm-based waking to sunrise awakening found something remarkable. People who wake with the sun experience 42% better sleep quality and stay more alert throughout the day. That's nearly half better. The practice is simple but effective. No fancy gadgets, no complicated routines, just working with nature's rhythm instead of fighting against it. The Amish have held on to this wisdom while the rest of us try to hack our sleep with expensive mattresses and sleep tracking apps. Maybe instead of downloading another sleep app, we should just open our curtains in the morning. The 30-second cold water ritual. Standing at the bathroom sink, splashing cold water on your face might seem mundane. For the Amish elderly, however, it's a precise health ritual that kickstarts their day. Every morning, Amish seniors fill a specific metal basin halfway with cold well water, typically around 55 degrees Fahrenheit, which they keep positioned by their bedside. The ritual is beautifully straightforward. They submerge their face in this chilly water for exactly 30 seconds. Not 20 seconds, not a quick splash, but a full half minute. The science behind this practice is fascinating. This brief cold exposure immediately stimulates the vagus nerve, which runs from brain to abdomen and plays a crucial role in regulating inflammation throughout your body. Ever tried buying an alarm clock these days? It's like they're all designed by people who've never experienced morning. Meanwhile, the Amish are just splashing water on their faces and getting more done by 7 a.m. than most of us do all day. Research has connected this simple practice to improved alertness that lasts throughout the day. Think about it. How much money do people spend on expensive coffee drinks to feel alert when the Amish achieve the same result with just water and a metal basin? The cold water triggers increased circulation to your brain and a natural surge of adrenaline that clears morning brain fog better than any energy drink. Morning tea with specific herbs. The kettle whistles softly in an Amish kitchen as the sun begins to illuminate the farmland outside. Within Amish communities, elders prepare their morning tea with methodical precision. Fresh lemon balm and mint, often picked from nearby gardens, are placed in handcrafted mugs, topped with just boiled water and finished with a small drizzle of raw, locally harvested honey. What might surprise you is how particular they are about preparation. Wooden spoons, never metal, are used to stir this aromatic brew. While some might dismiss this as tradition, there's wisdom here. Metal can react with certain compounds and herbs, potentially diminishing their medicinal properties. The timing matters too. This isn't tea to sip while rushing out the door. Amish seniors stand by an east-facing window, drinking their tea while it's still hot, allowing aromatic compounds to be inhaled along with being consumed. Modern medicine has pills for everything these days. Got a headache from taking too many pills? There's probably another pill for that. Meanwhile, the Amish are just sipping their herb tea and smiling. A survey revealed that 83% of Amish seniors consume some form of herbal tea before any other food or drink in the morning. This combination of lemon balm and mint supports digestion, calms nervous tension, and provides gentle energy without the crash associated with caffeine. The elderberry morning spoonful. Winter mornings in Amish country bring a ritual as dependable as the sunrise. When cold season approaches, Amish elders reach for their elderberry syrup. Not store-bought with preservatives, but a homemade elixir prepared with methods passed through generations. Each morning, they take exactly 1 teaspoon of this dark purple syrup, a small but powerful defense against seasonal respiratory challenges. The preparation follows precise steps refined over decades. Dried elderberries simmer with star anise and cinnamon for exactly 40 minutes, not a minute less or more. This specific timing extracts the maximum amount of natural antiviral compounds without degrading potency. It's knowledge from years of observation rather than laboratory testing, yet modern research increasingly validates these traditional practices. The syrup's deep purple color comes from anthocyanins, powerful antioxidants that combat cellular damage. What makes this remedy particularly effective is consistency. It's not something used only when feeling ill, but taken faithfully every morning throughout vulnerable seasons. Storage matters too, kept in glass containers and cool root cellars where temperature remains stable. Under these conditions, the syrup maintains potency for up to 3 months. This attention extends to every aspect, from growing conditions to the final drop consumed each morning. The 100-step rule before breakfast. Walking before eating might seem like an odd ritual, but the Amish have been doing it for generations. Their seniors never eat breakfast without first walking at least 100 steps outdoors. Rain or shine, hot or cold, those steps happen before the first bite of food passes their lips. When the weather is good, they do this barefoot. Connecting directly with the earth isn't just some spiritual practice. Modern research has shown it improves insulin sensitivity before the first meal. Your body actually processes breakfast better after moving around a bit. It's like warming up a car engine before driving it on a cold morning. This simple habit jumpstarts metabolism and gets blood flowing to your digestive system. By the time an Amish elder sits down to eat, their body is fully prepared to make the most of those nutrients. Meanwhile, many of us roll straight from bed to breakfast table, wondering why we feel sluggish all morning. The beauty of this practice is that it requires no special equipment, no gym membership, and takes only a few minutes. Yet those 100 steps create a foundation for better health throughout the day. Amish seniors maintain metabolic health decades beyond when most Americans begin to struggle with it. 2 hands, dough, kneading. Bread making remains essential in Amish communities, but there's more to it than creating delicious loaves. For Amish women in their 80s, kneading dough serves a dual purpose. It's both food preparation and a comprehensive upper body workout. Every other morning, these remarkable women spend exactly 12 minutes kneading bread dough. The timing isn't random. This precise duration exercises 85% of upper body muscle groups without requiring special equipment. Modern fitness companies sell $50 hand strengtheners, while Amish women just laugh and keep kneading their bread. Amazing how we'll pay top dollar to avoid making our own food. The rhythmic pressure of kneading fights arthritis in the hands and dramatically improves grip strength. You might not think hand strength matters much until you can't open a jar or hold a grandchild. Modern medicine prescribes expensive physical therapy for these issues, but the Amish prevent them altogether through daily activities. Regular kneading maintains hand strength and joint flexibility well into advanced age. In communities where making bread from scratch is standard practice, the debilitating hand issues common among modern seniors are noticeably absent. Sometimes the oldest solutions are still the best ones. The 8-4-2 vocal exercise. 4 times daily at specific hours, something beautiful happens in Amish communities. Seniors gather to sing hymns following a pattern they call the 8-4-2 method. For exactly 8 minutes, their voices rise and fall in harmony, following breathing patterns established through generations. During these singing sessions, participants maintain a specific breathing rhythm, 4 seconds in, 6 seconds out while singing. This isn't just about musical tradition, it's a powerful lung exercise disguised as a social activity. The controlled breathing strengthens respiratory muscles and increases vital capacity by an impressive 18%. Here's something remarkable. The average 80-year-old Amish person has the lung capacity of a typical 50-year-old non-Amish person. That's a biological age difference of 3 decades just in lung function alone. While many seniors in modern society struggle with diminished breathing capacity, Amish elders maintain robust respiratory health through this harmonious practice. These singing sessions serve multiple purposes. Beyond the physical benefits, they reinforce community bonds, provide emotional support, and create natural intervals of rest throughout the workday. The songs themselves often contain messages of gratitude and resilience, further contributing to positive mental health. Unlike complicated breathing exercises taught in modern wellness retreats, this practice requires no special equipment or instruction. The 3-corner stretching technique. Flexibility doesn't have to decline with age, at least not according to Amish elders. They practice a remarkably simple habit that maintains shoulder mobility well into their 90s. Upon entering a room, Amish seniors touch 3 corners of the space, reaching fully with alternate arms. This takes just 3 to 4 seconds, but preserves range of motion throughout the day. The beauty of this technique lies in its simplicity and frequency. By integrating stretching into the routine act of entering rooms, Amish elders perform this movement dozens of times daily without having to remember a separate exercise routine. Their shoulders stay flexible almost by accident. This simple habit prevents frozen shoulder syndrome, a painful condition affecting up to 5% of adults over 50 in the general population, but notably less common in Amish communities. When the rest of us finally touch our toes at age 60, we expect a standing ovation, while the Amish just quietly maintain their flexibility decade after decade. The consistent stretching maintains shoulder joint mobility even as joint fluid naturally decreases with age. Physical therapists now charge good money to teach exercises remarkably similar to what the Amish have been doing for free. The difference? The Amish version happens automatically throughout the day rather than requiring a dedicated exercise session. Mid-morning standing break. After 2 hours of morning work, something unusual happens in Amish communities. Everything stops. Tools are set down, conversations pause, and elders take what they call a standing break. For exactly 7 minutes, Amish seniors stand completely still, often gazing out across their land or garden. To outsiders, this might look like wasted time in a culture known for productivity. In reality, it's a sophisticated stress management technique that modern science is only beginning to understand. This brief period of complete stillness acts as a form of standing meditation, dramatically reducing cortisol levels in the body. The timing of this break isn't random. It comes just when stress hormones typically begin to rise after morning activity. By intentionally pausing at this crucial moment, Amish elders prevent the cumulative stress that many modern seniors experience. Their cortisol levels remain balanced throughout the day rather than spiking and crashing. Research has associated this simple practice with normalized blood pressure and improved focus for subsequent tasks. In communities where this standing break is observed, rates of hypertension are significantly lower than national averages. The elders aren't just resting, they're resetting their nervous systems. While we often think of rest as sitting or lying down, the Amish have discovered that sometimes standing still provides the most effective restoration. The hand-washing joint rotation. Washing hands might seem like a mundane task, but in Amish communities, it transforms into an opportunity for joint health maintenance. During each hand-washing session, Amish seniors perform a specific set of movements that keep their hands functional and pain-free well into advanced age. The routine begins with rotating both wrists in full circles, 5 complete rotations for each hand. After thorough washing, they spread their fingers wide and then close them into a tight fist. This opening and closing motion happens exactly 3 times before hands are dried. All those times doctors tell us to wash our hands for 20 seconds, the Amish figured that out generations ago. They just filled those seconds with joint-preserving movements instead of singing Happy Birthday twice. This 15-second routine maintains mobility in precisely the joints most vulnerable to arthritis. The combination of warm water, gentle soap, and deliberate movement creates ideal conditions for preserving hand function. By integrating these movements into an activity done multiple times daily, Amish elders get the equivalent of a hand therapy session without adding anything new to their schedule. Modern occupational therapists often prescribe similar exercises for patients with early signs of hand arthritis. The difference? The Amish prevention approach begins decades before problems appear. The pre-meal apple cider vinegar elixir. 15 minutes before sitting down to eat, Amish elders perform a ritual that might seem strange to outsiders. They carefully mix 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar with 4 ounces of water, creating what they consider a powerful digestive tonic. During winter months, they add a pinch of ginger for warming properties. In summer, mint provides cooling benefits. The science behind this practice has begun to catch up with tradition. This simple mixture stimulates the production of digestive enzymes and helps stabilize blood sugar before food consumption. For older adults whose digestive efficiency naturally declines with age, this preparation sets the stage for optimal nutrient absorption. One important detail, Amish elders always consume this mixture through a straw, placing it toward the back of the mouth. This isn't random. The acid in vinegar can gradually damage tooth enamel with regular exposure. The straw delivery method protects dental health while still providing digestive benefits. The timing matters too. Those specific 15 minutes allow the compounds in the vinegar mixture to trigger digestive secretions before food arrives. When the meal begins, the digestive system is already primed and ready to work efficiently. While grocery stores now sell expensive digestive enzyme supplements, the Amish have been using this simple, affordable approach for generations. Amish fermentation secret. Before refrigeration existed, fermentation kept food edible through long winters. While most Americans have forgotten these traditional preservation methods, the Amish have maintained them, not just for food storage, but for powerful health benefits. Before each meal, Amish elders consume exactly 3 tablespoons of fermented vegetables. Cabbage, beets, and cucumbers are the most common choices, each fermented in special wooden crocks using a precise 2.5% salt concentration. This specific formula creates ideal conditions for beneficial bacteria to thrive while preventing harmful organisms from growing. The result? Each serving introduces over 100 billion beneficial bacteria into the digestive system, more than most expensive probiotic supplements. You have to admire a community that solved gut health problems centuries before microbiome became a trendy wellness term. While the rest of us pay premium prices for probiotic supplements, the Amish just open another jar from the cellar. Unlike commercial versions, these homemade ferments contain diverse bacterial strains uniquely adapted to the local environment. This diversity creates a more robust microbiome, supporting both digestive health and immune function. It's particularly valuable for older adults, whose gut bacteria naturally becomes less diverse with age. The consistency matters too. By consuming fermented foods before every meal, Amish elders maintain a stable population of beneficial bacteria throughout their digestive systems. Bitter greens before sweet foods. Dandelions, those pesky weeds most people try to eliminate from their lawns, are actually treasured by Amish elders as powerful health allies. Before consuming anything sweet, Amish seniors always eat a small portion of bitter greens, with dandelion leaves being their top choice. This isn't just an odd food preference, it's a deliberate digestive strategy passed down through generations. The timing of harvesting these greens isn't random. Amish elders specifically pick younger leaves before 9 a.m., when the balance of bitter compounds is optimal. Not too harsh, but strong enough to stimulate digestive function. The morning dew hasn't yet evaporated, making the leaves easier to pick and slightly less bitter than they become later in the day. This practice directly stimulates the liver's production of bile and triggers a cascade of digestive enzymes that prepare the body to process foods more efficiently. The bitter taste receptors on our tongues have direct connections to our digestive organs. It's as if nature designed a perfect starting signal for proper digestion. Regular consumption of these bitter greens helps maintain taste sensitivity, even into advanced age. While many seniors complain about foods tasting bland, Amish elders maintain acute taste perception decades longer than average. Their digestive enzyme production stays robust well into their 80s and 90s. Sunshine meal. Scheduling: what time did you eat your biggest meal yesterday? If you're like most Americans, it was probably dinner. The Amish approach is radically different, and modern nutritional science suggests they've been right all along. Amish seniors schedule their meals according to the sun, with their largest, most calorie-dense meal consumed when the sun is at its highest point, between 11:30 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. The modern office lunch break is just 30 rushed minutes between meetings. You'd never catch an Amish elder scarfing down a sandwich at their desk. They understand what nutritionists now confirm. Your body processes food most efficiently when digestive enzymes are at their peak production. This isn't just a small adjustment. Amish elders deliberately consume about 65% of their daily calories before 1 p.m. Research now shows this timing results in better digestion, more stable energy levels, and improved metabolic health. By aligning eating patterns with natural circadian rhythms, they avoid the digestive struggles that plague many elderly people in modern society. The contrast with contemporary habits is striking. Most Americans eat their heaviest meal in the evening, when digestive capacity is naturally decreasing. This mismatch between food intake and digestive capability contributes to the sleep disturbances and metabolic issues common among modern seniors. The no liquid with meals practice. Visit an Amish dining table and you'll notice something unusual. Water glasses remain untouched during the meal. Amish elders strictly avoid drinking anything 20 minutes before, during, or 20 minutes after meals. This practice might seem inconvenient or even unhealthy to outsiders accustomed to washing down each bite. But the Amish understand something important about digestion that many of us have forgotten. Digestive enzymes work most effectively at specific concentrations. When diluted by liquids during meals, these enzymes can't break down food as efficiently. By keeping meals and drinks separate, Amish seniors ensure optimal nutrient absorption from every bite they consume. They only take small sips if absolutely necessary, never large gulps that would significantly dilute stomach acid. Instead of drinking with meals, Amish elders consume most of their daily water between eating times. This creates a rhythm of hydration and digestion that supports both processes without them interfering with each other. The practice becomes second nature, and many Amish seniors report never feeling the urge to drink while eating. For those wanting to try this approach, the transition can be challenging. Our modern habit of constantly sipping while eating is deeply ingrained. However, many who adopt this practice report less bloating and improved digestion. The Amish show us that a long, healthy life isn't built on luck or modern trends. It's built on consistency, purpose, and balance. These 30 daily habits prove that small, mindful routines can shape decades of well-being. By living simply, working steadily, and resting with intention, they've turned ordinary days into a lifetime of strength. True longevity, after all, begins with how you live each day.